Morning, welcome along. It's Thursday and we have the HLT on the bench, and the bench hasn't collapsed and it's nearly full, but all my pipes is frozen, so I need to bring it up probably somewhere just below the ridge here so that I know that these don't leak. But we haven't got a leak. I woke up this morning to a message from Chris saying that'd be an idea just to test them, make sure there's no leaks. I didn't think there would be a leak, so this one's going to be okay. I've got other things to do today, sadly, so I'll wait for my hose to thaw out, which it's likely to do because it was only -18 last night, if it hasn't burst the hose, that is. And then I'll fill this up again, fill this, then transfer some of this into this, you know what I mean, or from this into these, because I've only got 2 blanking plates, so I need to take the blanking plate off there, put it on there. Oh, and I need to get some more of not that I'm going to use them very often, but just a few more of these, only a couple of quid each, or about a tenner from GC. That's a joke. GC supplies bloody good equipment, very good actually, really professional and probably out of my league. But yeah, so that's what we're doing at the moment. I've now got to go off and pretend to know what I'm talking about. Back later to do that one. It's 2:30 in the afternoon and we've had sunshine on the hose pipe running along the side of the building, and watch what happens now. That's the noise of it, the little icy bits coming through. Oh, I've got a lid on so I can't actually see. I think we might have, obviously what I should do is undo this and then squirt it into a bucket, but oh no, yes, no, yes, no, it might not have thawed quite as much as I thought. Have you? Oh, there's a noise. I reckon we've got some water going in there, squeezing its way through the ice in that hose pipe. Of course, the more that flows through, even if it's only going to be 2 or 3 degrees, it's still going to be enough to melt the ice which is in the hose pipe. We just need it to melt around the outside a little bit, just to allow a little bit of water through. And more water comes through. By the way, look, this has not leaked a bit. Christopher, it's fine, mate. I don't know why he was worried. I'm not sure that is doing anything. The thing is, I don't really want to leave it, because you know what would happen if I leave it? It'd all thaw and then I'd flood the place because I'd have forgotten about it. So I think what I'll do is give it another 20 odd minutes in the sun out there and then see whether we can fill the smaller copper. Half an hour later. Am I feeling brave? Oh, something moved. Something pushed. I don't know if it's... Let's raise the shutter a little bit and see whether... Have we got anything coming through? Difficult to tell. Sometimes I think I can hear things in here. Oh, listen. That's ice working its way through. How about that? boys and girls. Great. Let's turn the heating elements on. We've got water coming through. So then, what that means is I can then fill this right up to brim, because at the moment it's only up to about here. And I know Chris will definitely want to know that even up to the brim it's all right, because he's like that. He is an absolute perfectionist, and I know he'll probably deny that, but he is. And he shares my OCD, and if we didn't test it properly, wouldn't sleep at night. There's this little story, and actually I can close the shutter now, can't I? Because otherwise I'll be freezing me remaining knacker off. But as a story, if you those who know him will know the story. He's got next to the brewery, he's got a really cool little pub. In fact, it's pub of the year, 2019. And he's pretty much rebuilt the whole thing. Anyway, on the outside, he reckoned, during lockdown, end of last year, it was looking a bit untidy. So he decided, how are we doing on here? We don't want to flood ourselves, do we? That he was going to put some tiles on the front. And he did a lovely job of it, until he walked down the road. And then, you know, sometimes when you look uphill at something, you get a different perspective. And he realised that a couple of the tiles weren't exactly, you know, like perfectly straight line. There was a tiny little kink in it. He took the whole fucking lot off. and redid it. Yes. I know. I actually respect that level of insanity. It makes me feel kind of like less alone. Right, this is good. We have water flowing. So I can turn that off now. Let this warm up. The temperature of the outside water, according to this, is about 6.5 degrees. Although we've got both elements on, so we've got 4 kilowatt going in there. It won't take long to bring that up. That'll be probably about 30 minutes. We'll be up to about 85 odd degrees. Then we finish testing this. Then we move everything out of this back into there and into the... Where has it gone? Where's me? Oh, duh! Into my wash bucket. Because I'm going to give the other mash tun a bit of a clean out again as well, because I didn't give it a good scrub. And there's tiny, you know, those tiny little bits that you get every now and then of grain just stuck on the side. So I need to get a scouring pad on it. I'm not going to use caustic. So good. This works. And I'm ambivalent about how I'm going to do the tap thing, because ideally it would be here, taking off the bottom, but because of the just sort of like the distance between here and here, is how is the tap going to come out of the side? And if it's kind of, you know, is this going to be square? Like, because we bugging around quite a lot. I say we did. Chris did. Oh, it's better. Let's turn that off. I'm a bit Laurel and Hardy, I'm afraid. All in one, I'm Laurel and Hardy. So, you know, how is that going to... Because that tri-clamp then is going to have to be kind of square. And so, I don't know. Oh, crumbs. I don't know. Chris said, oh, it'll only be 20 minutes. But I hate that sort of buggering people around. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Well, especially when people like have offered to do something, and I just kind of felt really guilty of all the work that Chris went to on these. Not that guilty, because it's fucking brilliant. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm just really thankful and very, very grateful, and very much in his debt. And we'll have to think of a way of repaying. And I think a nice little long weekend free boat experience might be in order. So anyway, how much of that did I throw on the floor? Not too much. Gonna need to top this one up today as well. It hasn't really lost very much, I'm very pleased to say. I was a bit worried about this barrel. It was a bit of an effy one, but I think it managed to seal goodly. So right, enough waffle. We'll come back when we're going to top this one up. That's that. And we've thawed the hose. Yes. Now here's an interesting little thing. I filled this up, and then it's up to about 40 degrees. So I thought I'll pump it through this pump into here. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This is quite flup, and as a consequence, this little pump here is having to work really hard, and it's not got enough oomph in order to push through this probably 90 odd litres. It's really going to strain it. As you can see, ever so gradually, but I think that would eventually cause damage to that. And it is going, but it is really slow. So I think filling should really be via this. Oh, see what I did there? See what I did there? You know, that never would have filled up. So yes, so there's a lot of pressure coming through, a lot of, you know, having to woof up through there, because this has now got 15 ton pushing down. But anyway, it will do it. But I think in future, like we did for the underback going into the copper, it will be better to come in at the top. I think, Christopher, we can say it's all dry. It's all lovely and dry, and not, you know, what's it in? What's the term? Leaking. That good. Ah, this is. I must admit, I am like a dog with two. Never mind. That is, I can turn all this off now. Brilliant. No leaks that I can see at all. Oh! I know, it's so exciting, but it is for me, because this is the next really significant, major, significant step up for me to be able to brew some larger batch brews to go into, you know, either like 3 cornies or perhaps a Sankey. I'm waiting. Obviously, because of shutdown, there's no Sankeys going into the canal, so there's no salvaging to be done, because they're classed as a navigational hazard. If you pull something like that out of the canal, then you claim it. But because nothing's been thrown into the canal, because there's no pubs, no tide pubs buying from the cash and carry to then not have to pay the brewery, if that makes sense, and then they dump the evidence in the canal. So there's been nothing. We haven't found anything this year. Oh, 4 key kegs I've pulled out this year, but they're rubbish anyway. You can't reuse them. They're plastic. One of the industry's worst inventions, as far as I'm concerned. So, but you know, even if I have to go and buy some, that's all right. Get a 50 litre into there. I'm going to do it. I need to contact Johnny at BREW Keg Tap. I'm thinking of going for the 60 litre Firmzilla all-rounder, because I do like them. Now I'll drop the pressure in this one to there, not all the way down, but down quite almost as it were, to allow it to finish its thing. Oh god, that smells. Oh yes. Oh, do we like that in there? We do. So that now is almost ready to transfer into the next firm zipper. I don't know where I've put it. Put it somewhere safe. Where have I put it? Doesn't matter, I'll find it when I need it. So I'm going to dry hop it, put the dry hops in there, purge it, then do a closed transfer. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm so happy. And Mr. Harrison Hawks, sir, a job very, very well done. Still thinking about how to get the tap coming out of here. Whether there's going to be enough room, and because this will just be for like thermo well. So that won't really stick out any more than this. The thermo well will only stick out about this far, and then the lead will go flicking away somewhere or other. So tap here. Oh, I don't know. I just don't want to bugger him about anymore. I think I've said that before. I'm going to have a coffee. Isn't that a little copper there? Look, tiny now. We have the new copper, which is run the wrong way. It's better. Now, I think we will actually get all of the necessary containers on here, because the mash tun is 55mm, so it's going to be tight but not undoable, and that could sort of like sit over the edge a little bit. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with the way it's coming together. What I'm now doing is making a mess. Spilled some water on the floor. Who'd have guessed, eh? So I'm gonna fill this one up, and that's purely to set Chris's mind at ease that there's no leaks. Put these here, and then I've got a cap on there just in case. Let's pop a cap on here, because you know what I'm like. I'm quite... That's not good. I'll have to fix that in a second. So I won't put a cap on there. OCD. I will put a cap on there. That one's going as well, isn't it? No, it's not. Difficult to tell sometimes with these. Right, I need to pick those bits up and find a pin. Lovely. Right, anyway, I'm going to fill that up, make sure there's no leaks. Turn that off, because look what I nearly did there. God, you're a wazzock. Right, right, so find that tiny little pin, which is probably, I don't know, will never be found again. Repair that cam lock cover, fill that up. Yeah, come back when we're ready, and I'm not twittering quite as much nonsense. And thus we have tested. Look at that, almost full. Yes, okay, I haven't cleaned these out, obviously. But checking for leaks, and the interny leaks, not any leaks. Look. It is leak free. So we have two 100-litre vestibules, both of which brilliant. Now what I'm tempted to do, I know, probably a bit stupid, is to try filling all three up. That would give me nearly 300 kilograms on here. I think that would take it. If it didn't, actually, should I wait? I might wait and do it outside. But I think this little stand of mine, wooden though it is actually quite solid. Even though it's bowing like that, It's not really. Might get a spirit level on there just to check. But yes, so everything is fine. I now need to work out what I'm going to do about this. I don't want it to be too big a ball ache for Chris to try and put a... Yeah. I hadn't really thought, I should really have thought better about putting the thermal wells in the back like I have with these ones. These are just from Malt Miller or something, but they're all fairly straightforward. But yeah, looking good, looking good. Just thought I'd do a quick comparison. That in there is the Hermes coil from Blickman. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know how many 12s there are, but that is that. And that's compared to this one here. So I think quite a substantial difference. But you know, with an insulated mash tun, shouldn't really be necessary. With hindsight, if I could have found another one of those Blickman ones, I would have just got that. But you know, got this now. Be right. So anyway, that's it for today. I've had other things to do. Not to ring up earlier as well for a customer. But I've had other sort of like yucky health, talky, rubbishy things to do today. Whew, tomorrow's Friday. Thinking about going over to see Mr. Harrison Hawkes again on Saturday, because there's something I need to collect. I'm not sure I'm going to take this over. I think I might give him a rest for a week, poor guy. But yeah, look. It's holding well, and it looks, I think it looks, what do you think it looks like, boys and girls? I think it looks bloody brilliant. And I think, I just, again, coming back to these welds are truly superb. So yeah, all good. That's it for today. I'm gonna have a drink now. Cheers, everybody.